What's going on, awesome people? This is Iman Hushmat. It's a pleasure to have you at another episode of Countdown to Freedom in Iran. Wow, what a day it was. Damn, what a weekend it is. This is a crazy weekend for Iranians all around the world. Needless to say, we're going to be talking about what happened today as the movement leaders all got together in Georgetown University, a couple of them virtually, most of them in person. It was a wild couple of hours, wild in a good way, I would say, but we'll get to that as well. And then tomorrow, I feel like it's an important day tomorrow. Oh, yeah. We're doing everything but celebrating 44 years of this child-murdering, oppressive regime that is called the Islamic Republic. Everybody's going to be on the streets. And I know for sure everybody in South Florida is going to be coming to Torch of Friendship. Our awesome Uniter Sarah is going to give us a lowdown on that later on. And then we're going to end the program with one individual that was essentially the most critical individual that was responsible for both the nomination and eventual winning of Shervin Hajipour's Baraye Grammy award. So that was incredible. And that is Katy Amiri-Younesi. Cannot wait to talk to her about everything that she did from several months out that led to that incredible day for Iranians all around the world as they watched and they celebrated an Iranian winning the Grammy, and not just an Iranian, but the person that was responsible for the anthem of this revolution. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to have you all here. Shout out to Mehran. Thank you so much. We appreciate you tuning in. That must be Arjang, RJ Pilot. Hello from the friendly skies. I hope that you're not flying and watching IG Live at the same time. That would be putting a couple hundred people at danger, but I know you're a responsible pilot, my friend. Hello to everybody. Shiva Jun, Durud Bar Shama. All right, good. Moin Zari, great to have you. If you're joining for the very first time, Countdown is essentially a program for all of you who are interested in finding out the latest and greatest that's happening within Iran, outside of Iran, around the revolution, in addition to a little bit of things that have to do with personal and professional development, and in general about community and unity, all in the English language, because some of us are a little bisabat like me and cannot read or write Persian as much as I would love to. And so I felt and I hope that a program like this brings us together, allows us to be up to speed and be able to get all the action items that we need to be all a force to be reckoned with in this revolution. Every single one of you play a role. Keep on playing a role. Keep on tuning in. Keep on supporting. Keep on sharing content about Iran so that we all can go ahead and see that free Iran that we're all yearning for. Want to give a shout out to somebody from Montreal, Mehran Rahnama. Okay, Mehran, you're from Montreal. Well, perfect time to introduce somebody who doesn't really need an introduction at this point. It is our in-house amazing journalist and also producer and just amazing friend of the program, Paris Mansouri, that you need to be all aware of. Shalajun, Durud Bar Shama, Mona Durud Bar Shama. Yes. Every time I see real Sophie, I think of Sophie, but it's actually you're gonna do it. Hi, Parishun, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful to see you as always. One of the best parts about the countdown is the fact that I get to see your lovely face a couple times a week. So it's great.
Thank you. However lovely it is after like a full 10-hour work day without any makeup touch-ups, but let's do it.
And what a 10 hours it has been, huh? Not just at your work, but in our world of Iran.
It was quite a day. It's one of those days where you kind of wish that we were all together in a room watching it together and seeing everybody's reaction. Today was a very big day in our history, I feel like, especially in this revolution.
Yeah, we should have done a watch party. So we are on day 147 of this revolution.
Yes.
First up, there was an important conversation that took place at Georgetown University. Can you go ahead and give us a recap? It was like 2 hours. Give us the condensed version.
An extremely condensed version. There were 8 individuals who were there to speak on behalf of this revolution and on behalf of the people of Iran. These 8 individuals are in no particular order. I'm just looking at their pictures. Dr. Shirin Ebadi, Masih Alinejad, Dr. Hamid Ismailion, Nazanin Bunyadi, Abdullah, oh my goodness, Abdullah Muhtadi. I was like, what was his last name? Goshif Farahani and Ali Karimi. So Abdullah Mohtadi and Shirin Abadi and Goshifte Farahani were all basically there virtually. They submitted a video message ahead of the program, which was all done in Persian and it was subtitled in English. Goshifte Farahani also spoke on behalf of Ali Karimi. In person, there was, and actually his official title that they have on the website is His Excellency Reza Pahlavi. There was also Hamid Ismailion who was there, Dr. Hamid Ismailion who was there in person, Masih El-Ali Nejad and Nazanin Bonyani. They were all there in person talking. They started the event off with a moment of silence. The event, like I said, was not necessarily just in Persian. They went back and forth between Persian and English. When they spoke in Persian, there was a translator. The official feed was on Facebook, but there were other platforms that were sharing and multiple news outlets that were also sharing the entire broadcast. They spoke about the revolution not being over. They spoke about there being unity despite what the media tries to say, despite what we see on social media sometimes, and despite what the Islamic regime wants to make the world believe that there is not unity in the diaspora in terms of an opposition. They really wanted to drive home the point that there is unity. And finally, they were also apparently working on an agreement, an opposition principle charter that they are going to present. So they mentioned that that is coming up, but nothing further was mentioned.
All right. And your overall thoughts?
It's that it's speaking until there's action. There's speaking and then there is action.
Very good. I appreciate it. Well, I appreciate that recap. I mean, it's available for people to watch if they want. They should go to, I think it's a Georgetown University, like women's something.
Yes.
Yeah. If you just Google up democracy and the names of the people, it'll show up on Google, but you can definitely rewatch it. And I think it's good to watch it, actually. It's good to kind of see different people coming together and see what becomes of it. But like you said, let's see what happens action-wise. So let's talk about how earlier this week it was announced that Ali Khamenei issued pardons for tens of thousands of prisoners. Western media is sharing it like it's a fact. What can you tell us about the so-called pardon?
So obviously, in light of the revolution and the mass arrests since September 2022, a lot of people are like, oh, look, he's pardoning all of these people that were arrested. So there is a bigger picture. Every year around Bistodoe Bahman, there is a statement made that thousands of prisoners have been released. And I went a couple of years back and I found several. So back in March 2020, Iran's supreme leader pardoned 10,000 prisoners. This is according to Reuters. In March 2021, he pardoned 1,849 prisoners. He commuted their sentences. And basically last year, he pardoned 3,388. Now, these are just statements. We have to go and read essentially the fine print. First of all, this is coming from IRNA news outlets. IRNA is the Islamic Republic news agency, which we know is exactly very, very not accurate and very, very unreliable. And if you read the fine prints of all of these acquittals, these are individuals who don't necessarily fall in line with quote unquote what could be considered acquittable at all. So please don't take this whole 10,000 prisoners are being released. It is absolutely not the case. Many of these individuals who are so-called so-and-so being said that they can be released don't even fall in line with the parameters. So basically, you can't have committed a crime against the state. You can't be moharebe, which means that you committed an act against God. And we all know that these protesters have been arrested and have been charged with acts against God and treason against the state, which means that it doesn't even fall in line with the parameters set. So again, please be mindful of what you're sharing, and also the news outlets. If you're seeing something come out of the Islamic Republic News Agency, take it with a grain of salt.
Let's talk about some detainees. What are the updates on them?
Yes, so there is some positive news about the detainees. There are some individuals who are noteworthy and slightly not noteworthy in the sense that they are more important, but their names are more renowned. We obviously know there are thousands of prisoners in Iranian prisons who are perishing under the Islamic Republic regime's rule. We definitely don't want to minimize those individuals. We're just highlighting the individuals who are slightly more known to the public. One of them is Dr. Farhad Meissami. Last week, we saw images of his from Raja Shah prison where he's completely emaciated. He's been on a hunger strike. He'd been arrested in 2018 for supporting the movement against mandatory hijab. His sentence apparently has been commuted. He has been released today. There are, however, individuals that are still under detention, and I pulled up a couple of images because, unfortunately, these are names that we don't know, Iman, that we don't hear much of. University of Tehran faculty Amir Maziar and Kurosh Golnari may be subject to arrest. We have Ali Barfi. He's 18 years old from Abadan. They've abducted him, according to his family. There's 28-year-old Elmira Rahmani. She's an Iranian musician and a member of our Baha'i community who's been arrested. And there's Masume Banegar. She's an Iranian musician and a former children's music teacher. She's also been summoned by the Islamic Republic Intelligence Service as Qazvin prison. So that's that. And there's also Kumar Shaboi. He's 14 years old, Iman, and he has also been arrested by Islamic regime agents. So some of the names that we should definitely keep in mind, they're probably not going to be as famous as Dr. Farhad Meissami, but it does not make them any less important. We should definitely keep them top of mind.
Thank you for that. And right now, we have the pleasure of having Azadeh Afsai. She's joining us, and I know you're going to get to him in a second, but, she was asking about what about too much? We should definitely always mention free too much. Are there any updates on that? I know it's one of our hashtags that we're probably going to get to. I don't want to skip over
Absolutely. You are absolutely right. We always mention too much, and we also mention someone, Yasin. If you stay tuned to the end of the news segments, we always mention some of the hashtags that we're highlighting. We are not forgetting too much at all.
Of course. What about, there was a new House resolution introduced to support a free Iranian republic. What's that all about?
Yes. So this was a bipartisan, basically members of the House representatives. This is over in the United States. So if our EU viewers are watching, or Canadian viewers are watching, the Americans introduced bills. They need bipartisan support to pass. And there is a congressman, his name is Tom McClintock, and he did introduce a new bill. It's a resolution, sorry, not a bill. It's called Resolution 100. And it is expressing support for the Iranian people's desires for a democratic, secular, and non-nuclear Republic of Iran, condemning violation of human rights. So this is a new resolution. The reason I'm mentioning it is because we talk about the MAXA Act. We've mentioned it before. We asked you to get informed when you are reaching out to your congressmen or to your representatives. So if you do come across this resolution, just be very mindful that the individual behind this is Maryam Rajavi. She was actually invited to speak to Congress, and she did speak via a video message. And it is very concerning because the MEK, which is an organization that Maryam Rajavi leads, was on the international terrorist list until 2012, when Hillary Clinton removed them from the international terrorist list. So again, when you're looking at the resolutions, do a little digging, get a bit of the background, and see if it's actually a full message that you support. And also with this one, it's very interesting to keep in mind that the word that they use is a non-nuclear Republic of Iran, which they're already determining what Iran will be. And we all agree that it's Iranians who should determine what Iran will be. Whether they want to have a republic is up to Iranians. So to have a resolution that's being introduced that specifically says that Iran is a republic is kind of the antithesis of what we're doing here, which is we are trying to have a resolution for Iranians to self-determine their fate. So if you are seeing resolutions come about, please be mindful and please do your research as well before reaching out to your representatives.
Let's talk about action items this week.
The main one, something about tomorrow, which is a day we're not celebrating, and yeah, we're going to make sure that it's a dark day for anybody who is celebrating. Please find out the rallies that are happening locally, and it is not too late for you to go out, make yourself a bunch of signs, take some selfies, and use the hashtag boycott Iri Day, because we are going to make noise. And again, it doesn't matter how big your audience is. It doesn't matter if 10 people come or if you go alone. We've seen pictures of people just literally going out rallying by themselves. So the absolute most important thing we can do today is flood our social media tomorrow with boycott Iri Day. We are not celebrating tomorrow, and we're making sure that everybody knows what a dark day in history it is. And the 44th anniversary that they're celebrating will hopefully be their last one.
And I encourage everybody that's watching, if you're going out tomorrow, there's a way that you can actually like double dip. When you go in there, do some IG lives, post some pictures, post some videos, hashtag those, put them on all different platforms so that your presence is not just making an impact at that particular protest wherever you are, but then you can amplify it even more through social media. So you're already there. Document, 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 hashtag the hell out of it. And if you're in South Florida, you know where to be tomorrow. Told you friendship. Sorry, we'll get to it. Let's end with some hashtags. Speaking of hashtags.
Boycott Iri Day, IRI Day. Hashtag IRGC terrorists. And of course, when it comes to unlawfully detained prisoners, there are 20,000s of them. If you have loved ones, we are so, so sorry. If there are people that you want to highlight, please DM me, please DM Iman, please DM Let's Unite and Conquer. We'll make sure we're mentioning their hashtags too. But of course, we're going to start off with Tumash Salehi, Saman Yassin, who've been the voices of Iranians so bravely long before this revolution ever started. We cannot forget them. Elnaz Mohammadi, Elohe Mohammadi, the twin reporters who are currently in detention. We have Nilufar Hamedi, who's one of the reporters who helped break this story. And of course, the mainstays are hashtag Iran Revolution and hashtag Mahsa Amini.
Yeah, and then our fellow uniter, Shiva Saber, she just put in here, DC is doing their protest tomorrow at 2 p.m., Lincoln Memorial. I know Los Angeles is doing 12 p.m. their time. If you're in your respective city and you want to tell other people about where your nearest protest is, please do it. If you're in a city where you only know 100 Iranians, even better. Message those 100 people, get together somewhere and make some noise. If the 100 of you get together and you all use social media, you're going to reach 10,000 people. So you can decide how much impact that you want to make tomorrow. I hope wherever you are, you're not just showing up, but you're also spreading the word so that we get maximum output. Let's go. All right, Paris, appreciate you. As always, there's a final message for our listeners that I love to sign off on. Go ahead, please.
Our language is called Persian when we're speaking in English. وقتی فارسی حرف میزنیم میگیم فارسی. وقتی انگلیسی حرف میزنیم زبونمون هست Persian.
خیلی ممنون پرش. شب بخیر. با امید دیدار.
به امید آزادی.
Yeah. And Movla over here, please clear. We are stand for Iranian will, freedom, and democracy. Yes, of course. We're standing here for Iranians' will and freedom and democracy. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, up next, it is the lovely, the fabulous, our incredible uniter who's been working side by side with me for the last few months. Sareh Kazemi giving us a uniter update. Please help me welcome Sareh June. How are you?
Hi, I'm well. How are you? Sorry, excuse my voice.
No, you've had a cold for about 10 days, and you've still been fighting. Are you on the mend officially?
I am, right on time to scream my head off tomorrow.
Yeah, we need you to go ahead and what is it called? The cough drops. You need to take some cough drops, so tomorrow you're all good to go.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll stock up tonight.
Yeah, please do. All right. So what's going on tomorrow for those who are living under some kind of rock? You know.
Yeah, well, you guys said it best already. For anyone that's not going to the two main rallies taking place in Los Angeles or DC and who happens to be in the South Florida area, we are organizing a rally at Torch of Friendship, 301 Biscayne Boulevard, starting promptly at 3:30. We ask you guys all to arrive on time, be mindful of traffic, try and get there so that we can really take advantage of the full time that we plan to be there. Since you guys have already shared so much talked so much about the rally, I thought I would give a little bit, without giving too much away, a little bit of our creativity. What we plan to do is everything that the Islamic regime has been trying to suppress in terms of, Shervin Hajipour's win, in terms of the voice of people of political prisoners and advocates and the brains of that country. We plan to bring that all to the forefront and make sure they know that if they try to suppress, the harder they try to suppress, the harder we'll work at bringing it to the forefront. So we have some creative ways of being the voice of the people of Iran, showing the strength of the unity of the Iranian diaspora. And if you want to know how, Iman Stories has a little bit of a hint for you. And certainly just making sure that we are a part of the full global community that plans to, as Paris June said, boycott the Islamic Republic of Iran tomorrow. And thanks to several people, if it's okay, Imanjan, I'm going to shout out a couple of people.
Of course.
First, Shahla June from Signs R Us. I don't know if she's on, but I definitely want to shout her out. She has been an incredible partner in so many ways. A case in point, which you see behind Iman June, but also at all of our rallies. We just so appreciate her support, and I just want to call her out. I know that I will be going to her for all of my printing needs from here on out, absolutely. And I recommend, and I hope that most people do too. She has been a tremendous support to us, and more importantly, to the people of Iran. You can tell where her heart.
Can I interrupt for 1 second, talk about how awesome Shahla June is? When we were starting the countdown program, all I did was reach out to her and I said, hey, listen, we're trying to do this kind of board. I didn't even have to say, by any chance, would you like to sponsor? She said, I will take care of it, you know? And that's when you know you're next to some incredible compatriots whose heart is in the right place and will do whatever they can to their capacity to support. Sorry to cut you off. I had to give that shout out.
No, no problem. I appreciate you doing that. The more we can, the better. We can support one another. It, you know, rallies up unity, and we need more of all of that. A couple of uniters I need to shout out. One, Mona June, she's behind the scenes. She gave this update on Monday. She has been just the biggest soldier for this rally tomorrow and does so much behind the scenes. And I definitely have to shout out my sister. None of tomorrow would have been possible without her. So
she's my sister.
No, she's my sister.
No, she's my sister.
Surena in the background has been helping.
My brother. That's my brother.
He's my brother too, but we'll ask him. Negin June, who drives like hours and hours to get here from, I don't even know, Sarasota, every single rally, and she's helped us cover so much of these banners. You'll see tomorrow, literally from every angle that you look at us, you will know what we're standing there for. We are not celebrating, we're boycotting, we're downing theocracy, we're downing dictators, we're downing terrorists, and we're bringing to the forefront what they actually are, which is IRGC terrorists. So I'm not gonna give more of it away, but that was hopefully enough to get you excited to join us tomorrow in this fight.
Now that you said this, I think I'm going to come tomorrow. I feel motivated. I feel inspired.
Thank God, I convinced one person.
I think I'll do a cameo for sure. No, but thank you to Sareh June and Mona June and the rest of the gang that have been working so hard. I know Behnaz is doing the chanting. Yeah. There's a lot of people that are helping out, and
also
you know,
Tony, who's been kind enough to help us with shirts and just extremely gracious. We really appreciate all of the community jumping in.
Excellent.
I see Surena's written on there, Shahla Khanum, definitely. We shouted her out. I don't know if you were on, Surena, when we said it, but we definitely called her out for her tremendous generosity and creativity. So we appreciate her so much. Yeah. And there's so many people that I'm sure I haven't mentioned. Sherry June has been extremely helpful. There's several people, Nusha, Yegane, who have been helping with action items. That's another important part. You know, we're not just there to chant. We are there to actually make impact. And we're going to do a group action all together to make major impact. So numbers matter. I need everybody there so that we can have the biggest impact truly in multiple ways tomorrow. There's a lot of people who have truly thought through a lot here. And I really am grateful to all of them. I'm sorry if I didn't mention your names.
No problem. I actually do want to give a shout out to Brian Behnajad. He's been like a silent assassin coming to many of our protests. Doing the drone footage. Really appreciate what he's been doing. I don't think he's on this IG live right now, but I want to say thank you to him. It's all about teamwork. This is like true unity on our end, and it's a beautiful thing to see.
Absolutely. Yeah, thanks for letting me shout them out, Iman John. And a big shout out to you.
Well, thank you.
My other brother.
Don't need it. And I want to thank Yegane. She said she loves the hair. I'm assuming she's talking about me and not about you. So
of course.
Thank you, Yegane June. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, on On that note, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together virtually for Sareh Kazemi. Thank you so much for everything. Naomi Azadi. We'll see you soon.
Sounds
All
good. Bye-bye.
right. What a great pleasure I have of going from one awesome Iranian woman to another. And here comes the cherry on top, ladies and gentlemen. This lovely lady, her name is Katy Amiri-Younesi, and I'm so excited to have her. She, in case you don't know, graduated law school at the age of 26. She started her legal career right after that. She is a media and entertainment lawyer. But I feel like she's put all of that aside in the last 4 months, 5 months, and just been an incredible soldier for Iran and being one of the biggest voices and advocates and being able to get Shervin Hajipour not just nominated, but as you all saw last week, winning a Grammy for Best Song for Social Change, Baraye, as you all know. So please help me welcome the lovely, the amazing, the badass of a shirzan, Katy Amiri-Younesi. Please show her some love. Goodbye, Shoma. How are you, Katy Jun?
ببین من مافتم که you get all the credit for this.
Oh man.
What a beautiful teamwork. I was impressed. Sareh Jan, beautiful. You guys are awesome. The teamwork, the energy, the love, it's just amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And you know, you've been doing your fair share of a lot of work that brought 80 million Iranians so much joy, so much pride. For those who don't have the honor of knowing you and what you've been doing the last few months, can you just kind of take us a few steps back and let us know about the involvement and leading up to the Grammys and all that exciting stuff that you went through last week?
Yeah, lots and lots of good news. Well, October 3rd, I went to the Academy, and as you know, you've seen the Instagram post. I went to the Academy and I submitted Shervin's song properly after I think 80 or 90,000 people were trying to submit, and they didn't know the route, and nobody knew actually because it's the first year, and people were confused about how to submit Shervin's song for the Best Social Change Award. There were so many criteria that we had to just fill in, and I got lucky. I went there since I'm a voting member with the Academy. Our team, Opium Moon, won the 2019 Grammy, and after that we became the voting member. The team became a voting member, and we have the privilege of when we need to talk to the Academy, we know who to go to, and we have the ability to actually talk to people on the higher level, so we get things done. So on that day I submitted it properly, and of course Taylor Hansen is the president of one of the 12 chapter of the Academy. He contacted me the next or 2 days after when he got the info that finally Shervin's song was submitted properly. He got so excited, and he got involved with the cause and the project, and he was so touched by the fact that women are going through this, and that was a very good turnaround for us as the Persians, because now we had somebody American in that American nook that was trying to be our voice, and he has been a soldier side by side. He worked so hard. When we got the email that the award for Shervin is going to be held on Saturday prior to the Grammys, I started nagging and emailing, and Taylor was again a good soldier side by side. We started emailing Harvey Mason and Panos, which are the president and the CEO of the Academy, and we tried our best, and we got a lot of people involved with that process. And finally I called Panos on his cell phone, Iman, cell phone. I found out his cell phone. I called him.
All about connections, baby. It's all about connections.
He got surprised. He's like, you're calling me on my cell phone and I'm not in the country. I said, well, this is important, and I wanted to tell you that this has to be changed because 80 million people are watching this. And on the day of the Grammy, on that red carpet, I know you have watched it, on the red carpet around 3 p.m. So the Grammy started at 5 p.m. On 3 p.m. I saw Panos. I thanked him, and I apologized for calling him on his cell phone, and I apologized for all the emails that I had sent him, and I told him that what an impact he made on 80 million people watching this award from not having a voice on Saturday to send it to Sunday and actually have a voice. And I started crying. He grabbed, like he hugged me. He started crying, and I stained his
Yeah, his
jacket.
$2,000 Hugo Boss suit, you know, you got it nice and blushy.
Hala, I tell you, I text him the next day now that I have his cell phone. He's my buddy now. If Panos is watching this ever, I love you. And then I text him and I said, I'm so sorry. I want to buy you a brand new suit. I'm so sorry. And I have the text. I will send it to you. He said, no, this stain is the stain of pride on my jacket, and I will hold it forever. Iman, I was crying when I was reading this, and I wrote back, I said tears. And then I couldn't
I have
respond anymore.
major goosebumps right here from Damishka.
I have to ask him for permission, because that text has to be published, has to be public. Everybody has to hashtag it. It was that stain has to stay on my jacket because it's the stain of pride. Can you imagine the CEO of the Academy, the president of the Academy is telling me, and it's all recorded, it's there, and the wife, Kimberly, I love you so much. Kimberly was trying to wipe it off with the shawl, and she got it off, but there's a little stain, and I begged for him to let me buy a suit. And then I invited him. I said, next time you're in LA, I wanted to cook for you some Persian food. And he said, I love it. I'll be at your house during March because I'm going to be back in LA. So I'm expecting Panos at my house March, and I will make borma sabzi because I'm known for it. And
but now you said borma sabzi, I'll be there. So thank you so much.
You'll be there.
Not because of Panos, who's an incredible supporter of our revolution, but the borma sabzi.
So a village was behind me. Like, people were helping. Ustad Hamid Saidi was emailing. Taylor Hansen is he is ahead of the 12th chapter, the Texas chapter, and he emailed every single person he knew in that academy. Like, the things that he went through, I did a fraction of what he did. And then finally, I have the best news for you. I'll go back. We had a project called the Voice Project. The Voices Project was last Saturday. It made a huge media talk.
Explain what that is. That was a huge project in it by itself. Explain to everybody who doesn't know anything about it.
So from day one, Taylor said, how can I help? He said, okay, that day, the first day that Taylor talked to me was the day that Nika was killed. And I was crying. And I explained how Nika was raped several times and the organs were taken off, and just the whole trauma that we all went through outside of Iran and inside of Iran with Nika Shah Karami's tike body. It was just really that bad. So he listened to me, and he stops for 20-30 seconds, and he couldn't talk. So after that, he's like, you know, I have 7 children. He's only 39, and he got married when he was 18, and the most gorgeous kids. And I have 3 daughters, and the 17-year-old, one of my daughter is like always with me and all. And if this would have happened to me, because Nika was 16, so he related to the horrific crime of the year. And he's like, if this was me and somebody would have done this to my child, I would have been standing in the middle of the ground right there with all the people, and I would fight with everything that I have. So, and then he's like, what can I do? Use me. What can I help? How can I help? How can I be part of this cause? He said, I have 32 concerts coming up in the next month and a half. He was touring the world. He said, I will be in touch with you. You tell me what we should do and we'll do it. And I said, I need your voice. So we went through planning and plotting. And of course, Ustad Hamid Saidi was right there with us because he's a Grammy winner. So they have a different language. They are talking in a different language. They're musicians. And so they got together and we talked about a project that we will have A-list American singers singing a revolutionary song and release it. Just something like We Are the World, We Are the Children. So about 3 weeks ago, I got a call, 12 people, only 2 people are Persian on that screen. We had a Zoom meeting, and Taylor is like, we reached the point that we are ready. I have the lyrics, everything is ready. I need 280 people to come and sing one verse, like Baraye Azadi, and also for women, for life, we sing freedom. I said, how many people did you say? 280. Okay, why 280? Because the Henson studios fit 280, and Henson studio is actually where the We Are the World, We Are the Children was actually taking place. Michael Jackson was there. There is another one, Chaplin recording studio, that we had to rent both of them. And I said, why not 16,000? Why 16,000? Because we have 16,000 prisoners in Iran, and each one of us will take a place of one prisoner, one political prisoner that is in Iran, and they are voiceless. We want to be their voices. So this became the slogan of the voices. They were so touched. They didn't know. They thought only 500 people are in jail in Iran, and when they actually found out that there are 16,000 people, they started telling people that we are calling on 16,000 people wearing white. Each person is representing one political prisoner. And Rolling Stone covered us immediately. Rolling Stone, 2 pages. And then became Variety. Variety covered us. And all those medias, we were getting calls from all over the American medias. And that was one interview after another. Like, what are you guys doing? 16,000 people? Are you capable of having that kind of an organization to have 280 in, send them out, 280 more? We said we will do it, and we did it. And the Voices Project happened last Saturday. Lots and lots of American singers came in and they sang that verse, so their voices are there. 6 of the Academy presidents of the 12 chapters, 6 of them came and they sang this verse. Many Persian artists, we sent an open invitation to all Persians. خانم لیلا فروهر, she came. عزیزم حمید طالب زاده came, beautiful voice. حجار عزیز اومد, شهبال اومد, عرفان اومد, and many more that I cannot even remember their names right now. So we had lots and lots of artists. And then Iman, people were like standing in lines because they registered. 280 in, 280 out, 280 in, out. So the first session that we did till noon, we had 4,000 people already. The second session, so by the end of all that, we had quite like about 9,000 people scanning, going in. And their voices, when you hear it, I was at the studio today, Jim Scott's studio, I recorded something, I will post it later on. You have to hear their voices. There was a 3-year-old that stood there and sang, and you listen to his voice, you start crying. And from a 3-year-old all the way to a 93-year-old that came there, and they sang for Azadi, and they sang. And this project is an ongoing project. Shahzadeh Aziz called us in the morning and said he was the first one who sang the verse with Taylor online, and it went on and on. And for the rally this Saturday, well, Taylor was supposed to go back this Thursday, and I talked to him and I said, would you please give us the honor and stay here in LA, because we have a rally this Saturday. And then I called LA Protest and I said, I am at your service. How can I help? And I have Taylor. He is willing and able to come. And then we planned everything. And then later on, I said, well, do you guys want him to sing? They're like, oh, wow, he would. So I go back to Taylor. Taylor, please, would you please sing with people on that stage? And he agreed. He's such a pure soul. So he's going to be on that stage. Taylor Hanson singing with all of us on Saturday. Please come to the rally on Saturday. It's going to be an epic, historic kind of
12 p.m. Where is it at, in case there's people in California? I'm sure
12 to 2, downtown LA.
Okay.
12 to 2. And it is, I think they have programs like back to back. I don't know exactly what time Taylor will be up there, but he will be up there with all his 7 kids. He wanted his kids to see it and experience it. And it was very important to him that his 17-year-old daughter would witness what other people, like, what is the meaning of azadi? What is the meaning of freedom? Why should we appreciate of what we have, and what are we fighting for? Why do we say that we are fighting for freedom of Iran? What does that freedom mean? Freedom means that women can sing, they can go out the way they want, they can have any job that they feel it's proper for them, and it is just the basic human right they're asking for. So he's gonna be there with his kids. Please, yes, no, for FOR, for womenlifefreedom.com. For women life freedom.
Yeah.
And one more thing, for the next 2 days, there is an app on forwomenlifefreedom.com. They can record their voices to be part of this historic event. And finally, when in 2 weeks it's going to be released, they will have a part of that song. So every time you listen to it in the radio, you're like, oh, my voice is there too. So please go, please join. And there's a PayPal account. The PayPal does not go to my pocket. The PayPal is for this project. Yes, the project was over $200,000. It was really expensive, only $55,000 for the security, because of all the high-end people that were coming. And then it was a very, very organized project, but we paid an arm and a leg for it. So the PayPal for Women Life Freedom goes to a non-profit 501c3 organization. I don't get paid. This is all volunteer work. I don't need to get paid for this. I pay my dues. So please do that. There are some rumors. Anyways, I just wanted to clear the air that this PayPal account will just feed this nonprofit organization, which we have a lot of costs. So let's finish this project, which is going to be great. It's one of the biggest historic event in American and Persian and Iranian history, because 16,000 people, they never experienced that.
I'm already on your email list, but if people want to continue to follow you, can you please provide the Instagram, the website, where else they can be more involved and support?
My Instagram is Katy, K-A-T-Y, like Katy Perry. I saw Katy Perry on red carpet, by the way. I'm like, Katy, I am Katy too. And the reps looked at me like, what the hell is wrong with you, woman? Just get away, go. I'm like, Katy. Yeah, I had some moments on that red carpet. I don't think they will let me go there next year. I'm going to be on the do not enter list. So yeah, like Katy Perry, Katy_Amiri, Amiri-Younesi, YOUNESI_law firm. Katy Amiri-Younesi law firm. That's my Instagram. For Women Life Freedom has an Instagram as well. The website is for not number 4, for womenlifefreedom.com. Go there, join them, and start singing, because your voice will be aired in like 2 weeks, and you will hear this music for the rest of your life. And I promise you, every time you listen to it, you're going to get a goosebumps that you were part of this project.
You know, even though you have 16,000 or so that are going to be performing, I just know that if I sing, I'm really going to mess it up for the 16,000 people. But I want you to sing on our behalf.
No.
You're going to hear my bad note in the background. I just don't want to mess it up, you know?
You know, they tried that with me. I was so busy on Saturday, I didn't get a chance to actually sing at Henson Studio. Like, I was there the whole day, and I didn't get the chance to actually go to that recording studio and sing. So today, when I was at Jim Scott's studio, I said, hey, you guys, I want to sing. And I'm like, really? Stick to law. I'm like, no, I want to sing. So I put on my headphone for women, for like, and then that, you know how it goes ding, 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 like there is 4, it's like, it tells you when to start. I would miss it, and I was like, there's a reason they don't let me sing. So law
listen, your contribution to the revolution is not singing. You've done so much more. Don't worry if you don't perfect the singing part. Yeah, you're good.
I want to sing.
Valley, and just like the Uniters are saying down here, they really would love to have you in Miami. If you come to Miami to one of our protests, both of us will do a duet and we'll sing the song together. You know?
promise me you will do a duet.
Let's
Next time there's a rally, I'm gonna be up there, and we're gonna do a duet.
Let's do it.
And if one of those speakers get disconnected by accident, I'll be
Let's
back.
do it. Let's do it. A duet with you would be my pleasure.
Yeah.
But Vali Khadija, honestly, first of all, we're running a little behind with the timing, but I genuinely appreciate you joining us. We genuinely appreciate everything you did for us the last 4 or 5 months. I know how much time it took. I know how stressful it was. I know how you have to deal with a lot of drama, because that's just what happens in this kind of stuff. So thank you so much. Keep on fighting the good fight. We have a whole crew of uniters that truly appreciate everything you've done, and a whole community that appreciates what you've done. So keep on kicking ass, and we appreciate you for being who you are. Thank you so much.
Thank you for standing by me for the past 3-4 months. And guys, there are a lot of phone calls. Every little detail Iman knows. Sometimes he's like, I'm not going to go public about this, but keep me posted. So this guy knows all the ins and outs. He just looks very innocent. He knows it all. So thank you so much. Thank you for being my confidant.
Of course.
Thank you for this journey that you held my hand virtually, and you were the brain behind many of the things that I had a village behind me. Thank you so much. It was all of us. It was a teamwork, and we did it. Thank you so much.
It's so great to be in the same corner with you, and we're going to keep on fighting until we knock out the IRGC terrorist organization. Shab khosh, ba umid azadi. Take care,
Saturday, guys.
Yes,
bye-bye.
for sure. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, as the amazing Katy Jun logs off, I just want to thank each and every one of you for joining us for another episode of Countdown. If it's the first time you joined in because you're a friend or follower of Katy Jun, Countdown to Freedom of Iran is a program that we create to bring you as much news and updates and a little bit of personal and professional development to hopefully lift you up, inspire you, motivate you, and just keep you in the loop about what's happening in our homeland, because it's important that you're involved. Every single one of you, your voice matters. Your social media accounts matter, whether you have 100 followers or 10,000. I don't care. We don't care. We need you. We need you in the streets. We need you online. And we need you to continue to amplify the voices of Iranians, because our job is not done. Today was another win. Tomorrow will be another win. But the real win is when we're celebrating inside of Iran. So until I'm doing this program, we're not completely satisfied, because the program is called Countdown to Freedom in Iran. And I want to get to the point where freedom in Iran. That's the new show that I want to produce. And it'll only happen if we're actually free. So don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, wherever you are on earth, find the nearest protest, whether it's 5 of you getting together or 50,000 of you, which is what I'm expecting in DC and definitely in LA. Or if you're in South Florida, we'll see you at Torch of Friendship tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Please be there. Please spread the word. Let's unite and conquer. Ba umid azadi. Shab khair.